A warm welcome to Business Daily right here on Trust Television. I am Yusuf Akogu. Let's take the business top stories. Glad to have you back. Quickly, we go to the stock market to give you highlights of the stock trading as it went down yesterday on the floor of Nigerian Stock Market. Of course, the market closed positive again, 0.25%. Of course, a new all-time high of 71,004 basis points there for the all-share index. The market cap also added about over $100 billion as naira. I beg your pardon as well. Volume of trade 297.353. Of course, in terms of value, 6.161 billion in deals there. 6,172 deals exchanged hands among investors. Let's look at the top gainers. The top gaining equities are Oando back on the table today in the oil and gas segment of the market. 10% it gained to close at 11 naira and 55 kobo per share. Of course, Omatech also gaining 10% as well to close at 77 kobo per share. And of course, Mikio, the company that was listed on NGX last week, has already gained over 3 naira there per share. Of course, another gain yesterday, 9.92%. Indeed, a very good performance for Mikio, you will see, playing in the healthcare segment of the market. Let's go to the top losing equities. The top losing equities, SOA Motors down 9.68% to close at 1 naira and 12 kobo per share. Of course, Sovereign Insurance 8.82% as well. Of course, Cornerstone also down 4.83% to close downward at 1 naira and 38 kobo. Let's look at the activity chart. Of course, the Oando topping the chart there, 28 million volume of shares traded. Icon Insurance also here, 23 million volume of shares. And of course, Japan Gold and Ventures also doing great there, 20.4 million shares of that company were traded yesterday. The banking sector are not really active here today. Let's see how they are performing across the sector. Of course, the banking sector is down 0.06%, 0.76%, I beg your pardon. The industrial sector 0.81%, the consumer goods 0.13%, and the oil and gas sector, a marginal gain there because of the performance of Oando there. And of course, the insurance sector the biggest loser, 0.79%. Let's look at the rest of Africa indeed and see how they're doing. In Joburg is a positive trade, 1.85% gain by JSF. In Ghana, the market is flat. There are not much activities in that as is for a few days now. Of course, in Nairobi is an upward movement for the ASI there, 90.23 basis points, and of course 1.17% gain there. Of course, this can be attributed to the gain in companies like BAM. BAM is a cement company quoted on Kenya Stock Exchange. We have also the KCB Group, which also gained yesterday, and of course the TPS, Eastern African Surrender Limited, also recorded gain yesterday to push the Nairobi Stock Exchange up there to positive territory. These are the highlights of the market across Africa as it went down on Wednesday across the continent. Now let's speak to Mr. Charles Fakrogha, who joins me via phone from the trading floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Good morning, Yusuf. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you, and I must congratulate you on the success of your daughter, a first-class graduate from University of Ibadan. There, very good one there for your daughter. I must congratulate you.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us, how is the market doing this morning as we speak?
Yes, if you look at what happened yesterday, the market closed in the positive territory, despite the inflation figures that came out and, of course, the macroeconomic conditions. Of course, we have seen where the market has also defied certain macroeconomic conditions, and the market is moving positively because, one, there are investors confident in the market, and, of course, the numbers that are being posted by the companies in terms of their Q3. And of course, the hope that investors have that when they position themselves looking at the Q3 numbers, then they are in to benefit from when the final account will be released. Now, as we speak, right now, the market is a little bit up, about 0.04% up, and volume is slightly over 80 million units, then value at about 674 million naira. Of course, it's still very early. We just transited. We are still in the continuous trading, just about an hour plus to the continuous trading, where we see a lot of buying and selling, a lot of orders coming in and all that. So we expect these figures to increase. Looking at the gainers chart for today, right now as we speak, at about 11 o'clock, we are seeing Access Bank is on the gainer side. MTN is also up. UBA is up, Owando, then of course GT Co. All these ones are the ones that have gained so far today. Then for the loser side, we are seeing Wema Bank is up and is down. Sterling Bank is also down. Of course, GSK, Transcorp, and Jais Bank are on the loser side.
Right.
But these figures, as I'm reading them, can change any moment from now because we are on continuous trading, buying and selling going on, and brokers are still watching the market here and there. Some others are not coming. So a lot of activity is going on right now in the market.
All right, Mr. Charles, talk to us about Union Bank. Union Bank is said to be delisted from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Of course, you recall the company was listed as far back as 1971. Why are they taking the decision to leave the exchange at this moment?
Okay, thank you for asking that question. I want to go in there. Now, the news we are seeing on our screen is Union Bank is delisting because it's been acquired by Titan Trust Bank. This is not something that happened today. There has been a long process, and the majority shareholder in Union Bank, that's the core investor, which is a Titan Trust Bank, a subsidiary of a TGI Group. They started this process a long time ago. And what they are saying is they want to take over this bank. Of course, they are taking over. They have 94.1%. But you still have some minority shareholders. And they've offered the minority shareholders 770 common, which is 10% higher than what they offered last year when they started this process. Because you see the share price move. So, again, we might say it's an advantage to the minority shareholder. So they are going to be paid that amount, 770 kobo, depending on the unit you have as a minority shareholder. That is what will come to you. And when that is fully done, then of course, the core investor will now be the sole owner of a Union Bank. And that's why they've applied for delisting. Now, there are two effects here. It is going to reduce the NGX market cap by over almost 200 billion naira. But again, if you look at the books very well, they comply with section 715 of the Corporate and Allied Matters Act 2020 as amended. They followed all the process. So in the exchange, in their rule book, they have what they call voluntary delisting and involuntary delisting.
All right.
So this one is involuntary.
Okay.
Sorry, voluntary.
Voluntary delisting, exactly.
Voluntary delisting. Yeah, so the company decides to leave. Not that they were compelled or they were forced to leave. And the slogan in the capital market is easy entry, easy exit. But as operators and as regulators, we always want to ensure that nobody is taking advantage of. So you can see that the core investors, Union Bank, they followed all the process, court ordered meeting, the shareholders agreed, and they are now coming to the finalization of this process.
All right.
So everything went well. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Charles, that's in 10 seconds. So the customers of the bank has nothing to worry about.
Yeah, the customers of Union Bank have nothing to worry about because it's just simply a new owner coming in, that is a new sheriff in town, that has promised superior performance, that has promised superior return to the customers in terms of better service and improved technology.
All right, Charles Fakrogha, stockbroker, talking to us there from Marina, the stock exchange floor right there in Lagos. I must thank you for your contribution on the Business Daily.